Um, so, quick note about the test that you all took the other day. I've decided not to include the last 4 questions on the as part of the grade, so I didn't count them. And I've run a regrade, and all of your grades were much higher. So kudos to you guys. So at least you have 1 and 2 step equations pretty much down. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be solving multi-step equations. So these require a bit more than 2-step, but the idea is really the same. So let's do the notes first, and then we can talk about the rest. So if possible or necessary, combine like terms on the same side of the equation first. So combine. Then blank the variable to solve the equation. So isolate. We always want to isolate the variable to solve the equation. So let me show you how this is done with a few practice problems, and then we can do some practice on our own. So we have 4x plus 14 plus 4x equals 38. So first, we're going to stay very, very principled, and we're going to rewrite this equation as 4x plus 4x. Remember how I said using the commutative property you can rewrite this equation? Well, true. Equals 38. 38. There we go. Then we are going to combine like terms. Remember, if it has the same variable and same exponent, it is like terms. So this 4x and 4 are considered like terms in this case. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So I'm going to say 8x plus 14 equals 38. And I can't find my 8 key. Now, this looks very, very similar to something you've done in the past. Now that we've combined the variables, it looks the same as our 2-step equations. So we're going to get rid of our constant. Remember, our constant's the number by itself. So we're going to subtract 14. Subtract 14. And we're going to get 8x equals 24. Great, we're almost done. Now, let's use the idea of opposite operations. So because we have an 8x and we have 24, we're going to divide each side by our coefficient. Remember, co means with. Coefficient means with our variable. So it means with x. 8 is the only thing with x, so we're going to divide it by 8. Divide by 8. So we're going to do that. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. And we're going to get x equals, you guessed it, 3. Perfect. Let's do the next one. So on the next one, we have 12 equals 10n minus 40n plus 3. So first, you guessed it, we're going to combine like terms. And we're going to say 10 minus 40. Remember, we can also rewrite this as minus 40 plus 10. It does not matter. So 10 minus 40, that's going to be negative 30. And there we go, negative 30n plus 3. Now that we have it multi-step, now that we combine like terms, we can isolate the variable by getting rid of the constant. So I see a plus 3. I'm going to minus 3 minus 3. And I get minus 15 equals 30n. And then I'm going, negative 30. And then, being principled as always, I'm going to divide by my coefficient. So divide by 30. Divide by 30. And I'm going to get, negative 30. Negative 30. And I'm going to get x equals 1 over 2. Perfect. Remember, you can always check yourself by plugging in the 1/2 to the n. and seeing if this value comes out to be true. So in this case, we get 5 and 20. 5 minus 20 is negative 15. Negative 15 plus 3 is negative 12, so we know we're correct. Let's do the next one. So the next one, you still have like terms, and they're just regular numbers, constants. So 1/2 b plus 8 minus 10 is negative 2. Remember, 8 minus 10 could be negative 10 plus 8. You can write it either way. Now that I have it in my two-step equation form, I'm going to add 2 to each side to get rid of my constant. And then I have 1/2 b equals 8. And then simplify, invert multiply fractions. So multiply by 2, and I get b equals 16. Just kidding, 12. Seeing if you're paying attention. Next one, we have this. We have negative 14 equals 7w plus 2w plus 8.5. So negative 14 equals, well, 7w and 2w are like terms, so we add them together. 9w plus 8.5. So all we're doing is combining our like terms first. Then we have it in a two-step equation, so we're going to get rid of our constant. 8.5 negative 8.5. There we go. And now that we have that, 14 minus 8.5 is negative 22.5. Yes. Wait. Minus, okay. Negative 22.5 equals 9w. And then we are very, very principled, so we divide by our coefficient next. And we get negative 22.5 over 9 equals w. I don't like going into fractions or going into decimals. You don't have to go into decimals if you don't want. And if you really want to, you could check with your calculator. All right, let's talk about this last one. And then I'm going to go to bed because it's late here. All right, Calvin went shopping over the weekend and bought a t-shirt with a new pair of shoes, a pair of sunglasses, a hat, and a hat that cost $9. Okay. The shoes were twice as much as the shirt, and the sunglasses were half the price of the shirt. The total cost was $65. So write an equation that represents the purchase using S for the cost of the shirt. So we're relating everything to the cost of the t-shirt. So it says the hat cost $9, so we're going to put in that flat 9. It says the shoes were twice as much as the shirt. So 2 times the shirt size. That takes care of the shoes. And then it says the sunglasses were half as much as the shirt. So we're going to put 0. We're going to put half S for half shirt. Perfect. And then he bought a shirt. So we got S plus 1/2 S plus 2S plus 9. This equals, well, it says $65, so we're going to put in 65. Perfect. So now we're going to combine and solve. Just like before, my very principled approach, I'm going to combine like terms. So S, remember, that's a hidden coefficient of 1. You can't forget that. So that's 2, 3.5. So 3.5, that would be 7 over 2s. That's 3.5 as a fraction. Plus 9 equals 65. We're very, very principled, so we're going to get rid of our constant first. And then we have 7 over 2s equals, and then that's 55 plus 1, 56, 56. And I meant to put an equal sign there. Then remember, what do we do with a fraction? We invert and we multiply the fraction, because a fraction is dividing and multiplying at the same time. So I'm going to flip that 7 over 2 upside down and say, okay, 2 over 7 times 56. And then 56 divided by 7 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16, so S equals 16. So the cost of everything, well, now that I found the shirt, that's pretty easy. So shirt size, shirt size 16. Shoe size, well, it said it was double, so 32. And then sunglasses were half as much. So sunglasses were 8. And this should complete your formula. Hooray. Go ahead and try these ideas out on your practice problems for today. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.